What's up, guys? Alright, as you can see, I'm not in my room, and I'm not in my living room. I'm here. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not going to be playing this. I'm going to be playing a song for you, but I'm going to be using this to teach you guys something, or to show you guys something. It's a way that I just actually saw, and I feel like this is the best way to tell you guys how faith works. So, we know what faith is, and we know that without faith we can't please God. But a lot of times, it's easy to say we have faith than to actually put it to use, to actually practice it. Now, faith helps us to accomplish anything that we need or anything that we desire. You know, when we put faith in God, then God is able to move in our lives and able to put whatever He has planned for us into action. So, let's say, I'm going to take this for, let's say the piano is faith, alright? And anybody, this is where I'm saying anybody can have faith, because anybody can have a piano, anybody can sit down, but to actually know how to play it, it's a different story. So, and in our lives we have many songs that we want to learn. It could be a relationship, it could be a dream job that you're looking for, it could be college that you're trying to graduate, or whatever it is, whatever goals that you have in life. You know, it could be a ministry, whatever it is, you need to learn how to play it. But in order to learn how to play it, you gotta learn how to play the instrument. So I'm gonna take a song. If you know it, great. If not, my girl, like really? I'm trying to record a video here. Alright. So I'm gonna take a song, Tu Fidelidad. If you know this song, great. If not, well, it's a good song, okay? It's a Christian song, alright? So I'm gonna play in the key of C, alright? Now before I even go into that, you gotta know your keys. You gotta know C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Alright, so you gotta know your keys. So that's step one. That's learning the basics. But let's say you already know that. Let's say you heard from church, you know the scriptures, you've heard the preachings, and you've gone to the altar, you prayed and all that. But it's once you step out of church, you're like, I don't know what to do. Alright? So, Tu Fidelidad. Okay, so you got Tu fidelidad es grande. Tu fidelidad es incomparable, nadie como tú, bendito Dios, grande es tu fidelidad. Very basic. So, in your life, in your relationship, whether you're just barely starting or you're praying for one, you gotta learn the basics. You gotta learn, okay, what am I playing? What am I doing? Why am I playing it this way? So, you gotta learn your basics. C. That's your first chord. That's your first step of using your faith. Just, alright? Alright, seems pretty simple. You know, and that's how faith is sometimes. When you first start using it, when you actually start putting it into action, you're like, wow, this is actually really easy. Like, this is simple, you know. But there comes a point where it gets a little hard, alright? So then, after you learn the basics, Tu fidelidad es grande. Whoa. At that moment you're like, wait a minute, how do you, what's that? What chord is that? I don't even know what the chord that is. Okay. And sometimes as you're learning, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what God's doing. When you're putting your faith, you don't know what God's doing, but you're like, Lord, I trust that you're going to teach me, you're going to show me. So, see, I have gotten so comfortable playing that I don't even know what it is. It just happened. And then, and it looks so easy. And if you ever watch musicians, guitarists, drummers, pianists, even singers, you're like, man, they make it look so easy. They make it look like effortless. And that's how faith is sometimes. Actually, all the time. When you start putting your faith in God, everything becomes so effortless. Like, blessings just start coming. And it's like you're not even trying. It's just pouring in your life. And now you've got to the point where you know the song at the back of your hand. I mean, you can play at any tempo. You can play it. You can take it slow. You can take your relationship slow. Or, if you want to take it a little, maybe make it your own style. So when you have established your faith, when you know your faith in God and you know your instrument, then you can learn any song that you want. You can achieve anything that you want to achieve. No matter how hard it is. I mean, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. And that's how faith works, is that God does all the impossible things. We just do the possible things. So when you're learning your song, you're like, I don't even know what this is. For me, if I was looking at myself like 5 years or 10 years ago, and I told myself, hey, play this, my older self or my younger self would say, that's impossible. But now, because I had practiced, because I had put forth the effort, and it sounds like, well, you're playing the same thing. Well, that's how it is. I mean, with faith, you do the same thing over and over. You just put your faith in God, always. You always trust. You always believe. And not faith of like, well, I guess this is right, or I guess this is right, or I guess that's right. No. You trust in yourself, and you trust in the Lord, and you say, all right, this is definitely right. So, when you start putting your faith in God and trust in His Word and believe it, not just trust, but also believe in His Word, then you can play any song in your life that you want. You can achieve anything that you want. Now, I know this video is kind of different. Normally, I kind of say like, what's up, guys? But I wanted to do it differently because this actually popped into my head as I was playing, and I said, man, this is exactly how faith is. This is exactly what how it works. So whatever your faith is, put your faith in God. Whatever it is that you want, put it in God. Because when you put your faith in God and you want to achieve something, then God will make it happen. And always remember, just like an instrument, you've got to learn the basics. So if you're trying to establish your faith in God, or just trying to figure out what faith is, learn the basics. Don't look at someone else and compare your faith to theirs. No, everyone's faith is different. We all have our limit, or our levels of faith is different. Some have more faith than others, others have less faith than others, but in different areas. Now, you may have more faith in your job than someone else does. You may have more faith in your friends than some others. But that doesn't mean that you're better than anyone else. And we have to remember that just because someone else's faith is different from yours does not mean that they're weaker than you, or that you're stronger than them, or vice versa. Because everyone is growing. Everyone has a different growing pace. But our job is not to focus on how others are doing, but how we're doing. If what we're doing is pleasing God, if what we're playing in our life is pleasing God, then it will come out beautifully. Even if you make a mistake, even if it sounds like, oh, I messed up there, just keep going. You know, because sometimes you may be playing it. Oh, wait, what? So you keep going, just keep playing. Even if you mess up. Oh. See, I mess up there too. But I keep going. I don't stop. I don't just like, oh, I'm not going to play anymore. No, you keep going. And in life, it's going to be like that. You're going to struggle. You're going to not know what you're playing. You're not going to know what you're doing sometimes. But you let God reveal that to you. You let God take care of that. But you keep doing the best that you can. And if it's honoring God, then there's nothing else that really matters. If God is pleased with what you're doing, don't worry about pleasing others. Don't worry about pleasing your parents, your pastor, your church members. You worry about pleasing God. If it pleases God, then His blessings will come out to you all over in your life. It will pour out uncontrollably. It will probably, it will drown you. You will be drowned with blessings. And I mean, there's nothing special, or there's nothing more special than receiving blessings from God on a daily basis. So practice your faith. Listen to what the word, but also what the word tells you, but also put that into action. Don't just say, well, I heard that in Bible school, or I heard that on Sunday, or I heard that from my pastor. Look in the scriptures and see what needs to be done, and see, okay, God, show me how to put my faith. Now, we ask God for faith, but we don't ask God to give us opportunities to put our faith to test. And that's where we need to ask God more of, give me opportunities to use my faith, rather than, Lord, give me faith. Because again, anybody can have a piano. Anybody can have a drum set. Anybody can have a guitar. But it's one thing to have it than to use it. Don't let your piano, don't let your guitar, don't let your faith start accumulating dust. And if you're at the point where you're confused, you're at a crossroad where you don't know what to do, you might want to pick up that faith and dust it off and start using it. Because there will come a point where all else fails, that you'll have to pick up that dusty faith of yours, put it to test. I hope you guys like this video. Again, this is a little bit different. It was just a spur of the moment. I decided to share this with you guys. But if you have any questions, if you have any comments, definitely leave them at the bottom, or message me on Instagram or Facebook. But again, thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. Thanks.